This presentation is Technology in the Classrooms by Jennifer Brown and Keith Giacomo. There are many types of technology in the classroom. Computers have evolved and are now small and flexible, which allows students to easily transport them around school. Computers could be laptops, tablets, smartphone devices with access, even VDIs or desktops. Classroom websites are used commonly by teachers to post assignments and are places where students can collaborate with one another through blogs. Smartboards used within the classroom allow students and teachers to use interactive lessons by the touch of their fingers. Online resources allow students to have quick and easy access to real-time information and assistance. We're going to be focusing on the BYOD environment, also known as Bring Your Own Device. These can include tablets, laptops, VDIs, and smartphones.
So there I was. It was a Monday afternoon. I'm sitting in my office working on my new iPad when it hits me. BYOD.
So it's Monday afternoon, and I'm just analyzing some log files. I'm trying to get out of there in time for the Coldplay concert that night, when my phone rings, and it's Chris with another one of his larger-than-life ideas.
So I called Dave from IT. He loves my ideas. This guy's a real IT wizard. So I asked him to present a BYOD framework by tomorrow.
Tomorrow? What does he think, I'm some kind of wizard? You want to see some magic? Poof! There go my Coldplay tickets. Don't get me wrong, I think innovation is great, but you have to be realistic. There are so many things to consider with BYOD alone. Stuff isn't exactly simple,
It's so simple. Seeing our employees using corporate applications on the go? What a dream.
What a nightmare. Just think about the security alone. Does he have any idea how many devices there are out there? And what happens when one of those gets lost or stolen? I'll tell you, I'm the guy that's got to manage policy for that.
So I told Dave, we need video on every device. Smartphones, tablets.
He tells me we need video on every device. Wow. I just hope he didn't tell that to our CEO, Jane.
That's right, Jane. I'm talking video on every device. Right. For everyone. Contractors, guests, you name it.
This means tons of new devices generating traffic on our Wi-Fi network, on our wired network, on our WAN. I don't even know if the network is going to scale.
Our users are just going to love this.
Oh, our users are just going to love this. Hello, help desk? Oh, hi, Lisa from finance. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear about your slow ERP, but without any deep network visibility, there's nothing I can do to help. Sorry, Lisa. Click.
Some pros of the BYOD environment include ease of lesson delivery. Lessons can be pushed out from a central tablet or laptop or computer device that teachers are running straight to the students' devices. Again, could be laptops, smartphones, tablets. They can be used as lesson extensions to allow students to explore the content a little deeper. Students can use them as research tools, can allow them to collaborate, connect with each other in an engaged manner. They can be used as supplemental reinforcement, where students can explore the topics a little bit more on their own to help them or enrich the content. They can be used as a review tool prior to exams or quizzes. They can even be used as points of assessment, such as QuizStar I use in my classroom myself. This allows me to create an exam, create an answer key, so as soon as the students are done with the exam, it gives them an instantaneous feedback as to their score, what questions they missed, what they need to review, and it also compiles the data for myself for easy review of that data. Some cons of the BYOD environment could be lack of network resources. If the network is not scalable or is not powerful enough, essentially, students can experience lag or even inaccessibility. Appropriate use issues if policies are not established and followed well. Funding sources can be difficult to acquire if trying to purchase supplemental devices. Accessibility if all students do not have some sort of a device of their own. Student participation in the current task at hand, keeping them on task, keeping them from exploring websites that they shouldn't be. Accountability issues, making sure that the students are completing the task in a timely manner. Some myths about the BYOD environment. It's been called bring your own distractions, but to solve that, rules need to be established and followed consistently as to when a device is allowed, how to access it, what they should be accessing or should not be accessing on that device. Some say BYOD is not safe, so all devices must be scanned for malware prior to first use. This will allow the network to not be corrupted when the students are signed on using it. Appropriate use policies must be agreed to and followed. These must be agreed to by the student, the classroom teacher, administration, as well as the parents of the students, so all are aware of the policies. BYOD creates a divide is another common complaint about it, but students can work in groups to ensure devices are accessible for all students. At times I may use an online tool known as Kahoot as a review within my classroom, and to make sure that all students do have a device or have access to a device, I'll create small groups where at least one student within that group has a mobile device that they'll be able to access Kahoot on. Computer labs can be used to equalize the student to device ratio. If all students should have a device, or it's a whole class assignment where each student needs access to a device, using a computer lab allows the students that do not have a mobile device to still access that content. And another thing you can do is seek funding sources to provide supplemental devices. Local tech companies, corporations, businesses will oftentimes donate funds or devices to be able to be used within the classroom. Consistency is a must. Classroom codes of conduct must be created and followed at all times. Students need to know what they're allowed to do and not allowed to do. And having a clear set of codes of conduct provide the structure that students need. Devices must be scanned on a regular basis for malware, again to keep the network from being corrupted. Appropriate use policies must be reviewed often and followed always. The students need to know what each one of those policy statements mean. How does it apply to them within the classroom? How does it apply to them outside of the classroom? The parents also need to know this set of policy statements. Avoid limiting access devices. So make sure all the students have access at all times if it's a whole classroom assignment. Group assignments are fine, but if you are looking for a whole class environment, you really need to make sure that all students have access to some sort of a mobile device or computer lab. Appropriate usage. District policies must be reviewed and understood by students. Taking those policies and breaking them down by statement allows the student to understand how that statement applies to them within the classroom and outside of the classroom, and being able to relay that same information to the parents allows the parents to understand what is expected of their students outside of the classroom. Each discipline or content area will have additional sets of rules or restrictions to be established and followed. So an example might be within a life science class studying anatomy, students may be viewing illustrations of human anatomy, which would be inappropriate to be viewed within, say, a math class or a history class. So establishing these additional sets of rules and restrictions help the students to stay on task and not violate appropriate usage policies. And all usage policies must be strictly followed. There should be no exceptions at any point in time to any of the district or school site usage policies. And you really need to be able to trust your students. If you can't trust your students, it can create a stressful environment for the teacher and as well as fellow students. If they feel that other students are misusing devices, There could create a almost like a cyberbullying situation if students are, say, taking photos and posting photos of other students. So you really need to be able to trust your students to be able to have an effective environment.
Let's talk about some training topic for a BYOD classroom.
We need to create a collaborative list of rules with the class.
Let's talk about how to take care of devices. Keep your antivirus definitions updated, and you must always carry your device with two hands. You must follow the rules and only access approved websites. There are plenty of websites to gain useful information from.
Know the signs of cyberbullying. You must report any signs of cyberbullying to teachers and administration. Always promote a positive image of yourself in online posts. Netiquette is the correct or acceptable way of communicating on the internet.
By establishing rules and following proper procedures, you can have a safe and effective BYOD environment.
Thanks for listening. Now back to our regularly scheduled presentation.
Student training is definitely essential to a successful BYOD environment. You should create a collaborative list of rules with the class. This way the students have ownership in this list of rules or code of conduct. Explain to them how to take care of their equipment, how to protect against viruses, about going to malicious websites, or being able to keep their virus definitions updated. Also, two hands when carrying a device. It's very, very crucial in a busy classroom when students are moving around to ensure that they don't drop the devices. Also, what websites to access. The internet provides a wide range of information, good and bad, so making sure that the students understand what websites are accessible within the classroom and which ones should be avoided. Cyberbullying, students should know how to report it and how to prevent it. One way of preventing cyberbullying is promoting a positive self-image of themselves, not posting things that somebody else would find offensive. Something that, I always tell my students is if they would be embarrassed sharing it with their relatives or loved ones, it's probably inappropriate for them to be posting. And using netiquette. Netiquette, again, it's just the appropriate way of communicating online. And following these guidelines will provide a very effective BYOD environment. So some of the references for this presentation included The Future of Education, BYOD, in the Classroom from Wired.com, E-Learning Industries, Top 3 Myths About BYOD Classroom. The BYODclassroom.com website is a fantastic source for information if you do want to investigate the BYOD program within a classroom. Ackerman and Krupp, there are 5 components to consider for BYOT or BYOD. Miller, Voss, and Hurlbert, BYOD security and privacy considerations. Santos, use of students' personal mobile devices in the classroom, which is an overview of key challenges. And Sangani, which is the BYOD to the classroom from Engineering and Technology Journal. I thank you for watching our presentation, and I hope you found it very informative.